What does it mean to master something? Not just to be good at it, but to completely embody it, to live and breathe it, until the boundary between the practice and the practitioner disappears. In a time when we're bombarded by hacks, shortcuts, and 10-step plans for success, the wisdom of a 17th-century samurai cuts through the noise with precision and clarity. Miyamoto Musashi wasn't just a master swordsman. He was a philosopher, an artist, and a strategist whose legacy reaches far beyond the battlefield. He won over 60 duels and remained undefeated. But it wasn't just his technique that set him apart. It was his relentless pursuit of mastery, not only of the sword, but of the self. His teachings, especially in the Book of 5 Rings, have become a blueprint not just for warriors, but for thinkers, leaders, creators, and anyone who aspires to live with depth, purpose, and excellence. Welcome to the unfolding journey, where we explore timeless wisdom, human potential, and the art of conscious living. This channel is your companion through history, philosophy, and personal development, bridging ancient insight with modern relevance. If you're here to go beyond surface-level answers and dig into transformative truths, you're in the right place. Let's unfold Musashi's legacy, not just as a man of war, but as a master of life. 1. Musashi's path to mastery, a life forged in fire. Miyamoto Musashi was born in 1584, during one of the most turbulent periods in Japanese history, the tail end of the Sengoku era, when warlords clashed in bloody battles for power. At the age of 13, Musashi fought his first duel, and won. That early taste of combat would set the tone for a life defined by discipline, danger, and deep introspection. He roamed Japan as a ronin, a masterless samurai, engaging in duels not out of hatred, but as a way to sharpen his spirit. Musashi didn't just fight for survival or glory. He fought to understand the essence of combat, to strip away illusion and find truth in the clash of steel. Over time, he abandoned traditional schools of swordsmanship and developed his own style, Nitten Ichiryu, or the School of the Two Heavens as One, which emphasized the use of both long and short swords simultaneously. This wasn't just a technical innovation, it was a manifestation of his belief in balance, duality, and unity. 2. The warrior as philosopher. By the later years of his life, Musashi had become more than a fighter. He was a calligrapher, a sculptor, a strategist, and most famously, a writer. In his final years, living in seclusion in a cave, he penned his seminal work, the Book of 5 Rings, Go Rin no Sho, a manual that was part strategy guide, part spiritual philosophy. This book wasn't written for swordsmen alone. Its core principles were universal. Musashi used the metaphor of combat to speak about conscious living, about approaching any pursuit, be it war, art, or life itself, with clarity, discipline, and relentless honesty. He taught that mastery begins not in the hand, but in the mind. The sword was just a tool. The real battle was within. 3. Earth, water, fire, wind, and void. The 5 rings of wisdom. In the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi divides his teachings into 5 scrolls or books, each named after an element. These are more than poetic flourishes. They are metaphors for the stages and aspects of mastery. Earth foundation. This is the grounding layer, the basics. Musashi emphasizes that every form, whether martial or personal, must be rooted in strong fundamentals. Without proper footing, no sword strike, no decision, and no life path can be stable. He warns against chasing fancy techniques without first mastering the simple, essential ones. In today's terms, don't skip the basics. Whether you're learning a skill, starting a business, or building a relationship, lay the foundation first. Water, adaptability. Water takes the shape of its container. It flows around obstacles. Musashi teaches that the warrior must adapt to changing conditions, just like water. Rigidity leads to defeat. Flexibility enables survival. This is the principle of fluid strategy. Whether in negotiation, career shifts, or emotional conflict, success often comes not to the strongest, but to the most adaptable. Fire, intensity and action. Fire represents energy, aggression, and decisive movement. Musashi encourages knowing when to strike, when to push forward, and when to act without hesitation. It's about timing, intensity, and presence. In life, fire is what fuels us to pursue goals, to face challenges, to ignite transformation. Wind, understanding others. Here, Musashi talks about other schools of thought, not just to critique them, but to understand them. Knowing how others think, fight, and approach problems gives you a strategic edge. In our world, this means empathy, perspective-taking, and the humility to learn from those with different worldviews. Mastery involves knowing not only yourself, but your environment and those within it. Void, the unknown and the infinite. Perhaps the most profound of all is the void. It represents the spiritual realm, intuition, and the space beyond knowledge. Musashi describes it as that which cannot be seen or known, but must be felt. This is the realm of non-attachment, of pure flow, of acting without ego. It's where art, mastery, and transcendence merge. 4. Musashi's discipline, the path of relentless practice. Musashi lived a life of austere dedication. He was known to practice for hours, often with wooden swords, under harsh conditions. He embraced solitude, discomfort, and simplicity, not to suffer, but to sharpen. He once wrote, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain." This speaks to his belief that mastery is personal. Each person's journey will look different, but it requires the same principles: discipline, repetition, observation, and reflection. Today, we often romanticize success, but Musashi reminds us, it is earned, not gifted. 5. Mastery beyond the sword. Modern applications of Musashi's wisdom. So how can Musashi's teachings apply to us? People who likely don't carry katanas or engage in daily duels. In career and leadership, Musashi teaches strategic vision, seeing the bigger picture while acting with precision. Whether you're leading a team or building a brand, his emphasis on calm, calculated action over reactive emotion is a masterclass in leadership. In creativity and art, Musashi was an artist as much as a swordsman. He saw no division between the two. His lesson? True mastery in any field, painting, writing, design, requires the same mindset: dedication, attention to detail, and deep connection to the process. In personal growth, from meditation to journaling to emotional resilience, Musashi's philosophy encourages self-confrontation. Look at your fears. Challenge your assumptions. Embrace solitude not as isolation, but as a crucible for transformation. 6. Musashi's end, dying as he lived. Musashi died in 1645 at the age of 61, seated in full armor, facing the morning sun. Even in death, he exemplified discipline and readiness. But his legacy didn't die with him. Today, his name is etched not only into the history of Japan, but into the global consciousness as a symbol of the eternal seeker. The person who devotes themselves fully to a path, not for fame or victory, but for the pure pursuit of excellence. Musashi's life reminds us that mastery is not a destination, it is a way of being. It's found in the daily grind, the quiet discipline, the moments when no one is watching. It's the courage to keep sharpening your sword, even when no battle is in sight. In a world addicted to speed and instant results, Musashi invites us to slow down, focus deeply, and walk the path of mastery. One step, one breath, one cut at a time. If you found inspiration in Musashi's story and want to keep exploring ancient wisdom, transformative ideas, and the path of personal mastery, hit that subscribe button and join us on the unfolding journey. Every week, we dive into powerful philosophies and timeless truths that help you live a more intentional, courageous, and fulfilled life. Click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Thank you for watching. Keep walking the path. Keep unfolding.